Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and Donald Trump has made at least a partial decision about his vice presidential pick. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. So Trump has narrowed the field down. Well, no, I don't want to say that, but he's named two people that he believes would be good vice presidential picks that I totally agree with. But he's also shot down a rumor, I guess ruled somebody out, shot down a rumor that was going around about somebody they say his campaign contacted that he says it never happened. This is really interesting. That person is RFK Jr., and that was going around a lot. But you got to understand, RFK Jr., for being whatever he is that the conservatives like, he's still at heart a liberal. He's still at heart going to give you policies you don't want. So it would be ridiculous to have RFK Jr., who I think is a great man, but it would be ridiculous to have him on a Republican ticket. It doesn't make any sense. But he did drop two names here that apparently are pretty high on his list. I want you to listen to it, tell me what you think of it, and then tell me who you would pick to be his vice president. So again, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. I'm Carmine Sabia for Explain America. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.
It's an amazing thing, and they've been loyal to us.
Mr. President, when will you announce who your VP is?
Not for a while. I mean, we have so many great people in the Republican Party, but not for a while.
Well, what criteria are you using to identify who your running mate is?
Always, it's got to be one thing. It's got to be who would be a good president. I mean, you always have to think that because, you know, in case of emergency, things happen, right? No matter who you are, things happen. It's got to be number one.
Who is your running mate?
Well, I have a lot of good people. We have a lot of really good people.
So you haven't decided who it is?
I have a lot of good ideas, but I haven't. And there's no reason to do that quickly.
So you haven't told that person, you're my person?
I speak to everybody. I speak to everybody. You know, I called Tim Scott this because a lot of people like Tim Scott. I called him and I said, you're a much better candidate for me than you are for yourself. When I watched him, he was fine. He was good, but he was very low-key, et cetera, et cetera. I watched him in the last week defending me and sticking up for me and fighting for me. I said, man, you're a much better person for me than you are for yourself, because for himself he was low-key. For me, he's been a real tiger. He's been incredible, and others have too.
So maybe it's Tim Scott.
Well, it could be a lot of people, but it was interesting. I was watching Tim. I've been watching, you know, for a while. I watched him campaign as a candidate, but I watched him over the last 2 weeks. As you know, he endorsed me, fully endorsed me, gave me a beautiful endorsement. And he has been really strong in terms of that. No, but that has nothing to do. I don't want anybody to take even any inference, but it's incredible. Kristi Noem has been incredible fighting for me. She said I'd never run against him because I can't beat him. That was a very nice thing to say.
What was the story that your team reached out to RFK Jr.?
It's a false story. No, it's a false story.
You never reached out to RFK Jr.?
I like him a lot. Nope, never happened.
Is it fair to believe that you would have a number of your former officials in your new cabinet?
I will put some back. I'll tell you, I came to Washington having spent almost no time in my life in Washington.
I know. You said
and all of a sudden I'm president. And I wasn't into Washington society. So I was not a Washington. I was a New York person. I was a New York builder.
Well, you were an outsider, and that's why I
was a
totally
totally
outsider.
For you. But the one problem with that, and I love the outsider thing, but you don't know people, so you're relying on other people to give you names to be the head of this, head of that. And by the way, we had unbelievable people. We had to look. I rebuilt the military.
Yeah, but your critics say you had plenty of personnel mistakes.
No, of course, but everybody does. Obama had. What about Biden? Look at the people running this Biden thing. The difference is I fire people. I fired Comey. I got rid of him.
You didn't fire Christopher Wray.
Well, you know what? At the time, I don't know. Let's see what the final judgment is. But I didn't fire Christopher Wray. I didn't fire people I would have, but I fired a lot of people. You know, I had turnover. They have no turnover right now.
How do you know if you get back in, you don't have a network of people around you working against you?
I will, and so will anybody else that gets in as a Republican. These people are